Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Did a little special pop-up, doing a little pop-up this morning. Of course, this is going to be an informal one. I've already, done all my little pre-market stuff. All the little technical difficulties I had yesterday morning, I couldn't let the week end like that. Because it didn't. The stream yesterday didn't save to YouTube for some reason, and there's a whole lot of stuff that happened yesterday. So I don't like to accept defeat. So doing a fresh one this morning. Yeah. All right. So I got about a couple minutes to the bell. Like I already did all of my futures market posts and the power range and looked at the calendar. The only thing we had this morning was the initial jobless claims in the manufacturing index at 8:30, so that's already past us. Had some interesting price action with NQ. Had some bulls overnight, but we've completely retraced that and kind of hanging around in the range leading into the bell. Rest of the market is bearish, below the power range. Each of the RTY, YM, CL, GC, and E6, they're all bearish of their power range. So it should be interesting to see how today plays out. NQ is the only one that had a bearish push or bullish push overnight. Was that new all-time highs? Well, no, it was slightly a test of all-time highs, but didn't quite make it. All right. My plan this morning is to be as aggressive as I can with the evaluation account. At this point, it's like, of course, I'm following the plan. I'm not deviating from the plan, but it's pretty much target or blowout. That's the mindset. So be as aggressive as I can. I got to remind myself to be as aggressive as I can with the evaluation account. I still got a ways to go. This market isn't giving us any like big trending moves, so I got to see how I can maximize what the market is giving us. Just running through my pre-market checklist, make sure I got everything done. And I want to make sure I take this out of sim mode because that would defeat the whole purpose of everything. And we are open. Also this morning I'm kind of testing out, since like yesterday, usually I just do the stream and I don't record it at the same time, but I'm gonna see if my computer can handle streaming and recording at the same time. That's another reason I wanted to go ahead and jump on here this morning. All right, we got some selling out the gate, got a little momentum coming. Running into our session low, seeing some buyers sitting down there. So depending on how this closed, I could be taking a momentum play this morning. Let's see, what do we have in front of us? Of course, there's going to be some support that we're going to have to fight through, since this is against the overall trend. But it's going to let this play out, and we'll see. Now, if we get back to our balance level at 884, I'm definitely taking that short. Taking it loaded through the power range to the VWAP. I like where that's at. Alright, so I'm not that the way that printed, definitely am not taking a breakout. Let's see if we get any retracement, any pullback. So it really, if it does break out, it does have the, there's a lot of buyers that came in there, so buyers will be getting squeezed at this point. Or sellers are making an attempt to squeeze the buyers. However, being in a bullish market, it's not so easy. You got a lot of people that are more interested in buying than they are selling. This is the typical sentiment of the market. So they are pushing it. Just not surprising. That was not a breakout setup for me, so I have to wait. Still didn't necessarily get the pullback that I'm looking for. But the good news is we do know we have buyers in this market, even though our selling is strong. Trying to push right through that balance level at 832. So if it's pushing through all the support that we can see on the 30-minute, what chart am I looking at? Okay. You can't so I got my 30-minute right here behind my little, I don't know what I call this, my ultimate charting guide, little info, whatever you want to call it. Just calling it an ad. Anyway, there's a lot of structure in here that you really can't see yet, but when that moves out of the way, as a matter of fact, I can do this. There we go. Don't need that right now. So yeah, there's a lot of structure that we're just trading right through. We traded through that this pivot here on the 30-minute. We got some support there that we're somewhat retesting now. We got buyers coming back in. See what kind of a pullback we get. I still don't necessarily have a trade yet. Even though I want to be really aggressive, I got to stick to the strategy. I don't have a trade in where it is in the range that it's trading in right now. Say the support is at 843, where we are seeing we got this battle between the balance level and this 30-minute support. You can also see that in the volume profile. Sometimes with your strategy, it works like that, where it'll give you the move you want, but it won't give you an entry. So you just have to be patient and wait for it. And I don't like to chase the market, I like to let the trades come to me. And lately, trending markets are when we have pushes like this. It's been harder to trade in when the price is stuck in a range. Of course, in hindsight, I can see places where I could have taken a trade, but that's hindsight. That's not following the strategy. It's not even worth noting because I watched it while it happened and it didn't give me the setup. So we're still just watching. Now I can be aggressive at this point and move my order. That's not it. And there's the wrong thing. Just playing the momentum. This doesn't look like it. They could be setting it up for the best words I can think of. It's like vicious price action to where they'll bring it down like this and then just take it right back up to give us that V-shaped pattern. They could do that. So we shall see. Actually, I have to looking to not be so aggressive with the performance account. Let's see if they do that typical thing where they bring it back, hold it in a range before giving us another move or giving us some real pullback back to the mean. It would have been nice to catch all of that, but it is what it is. Can't say I'm extremely excited the way that this is setting up. So it is a front run of the order that I have. Would have been nice to have caught that one, but still no entry. But what we do see is we do have sellers down here. Possibly looking to continue to bleed. Even though we got buyers pushing back, profit taking, buyers trying to buy the dip. Alright, still got some sellers with the same idea that I have. Another push lower before my order. Definitely was not expecting that to work out immediately. They are giving us this vicious price action that I kind of expected they would give us. They took it down like that, now they're trying to bring it right back. Let's see how far they bring it back. ES is seeing rejection at its VWAP, trading in the range. What am I looking at to see the buyers and the sellers and the buyers? Just price action. That's really it. Just looking at price action. I forgot to take a screenshot. They gave me one tick below my load in. I needed that one. Takes me out of the performance account. I needed that scale in. There's nothing to do at this point but to hold this position and let it play out. This is all part of the plan. Either target or blowout, being as aggressive as I possibly can. So they just moved the price this morning in a way that it's not really the best for my strategy. Or for this strategy. Now I could have played it like I played it in the performance account and just just use my experience to get the better location, but that's not the goal of the evaluation account. Really, like, the goal of the evaluation account is to trade a strategy as if I didn't have the experience. Which I've been kind of doing a decent job at that, but not. I could have done better in that regards. I haven't kind of using my experience too much with what I'm supposed to be doing with the evaluation account, but it's kind of hard to shut that off once you have it. Let's see. I would like another push up to the balance level of 884. Back to the VWAP and to see if we can get a bounce off the VWAP into that structure. See if we got some sellers sitting up there. This market does have sellers still in it, just looking at the delta. Most of this is probably profit taking, the buy up that we just saw. And we're gonna, in this area here, just looking at structure and understanding market sentiment, we should have some, the selling that we're seeing right now should be sellers looking to, either late to the party or take another stab at it. All right, so we trading back to, let's see if we can get a dip below. As a matter of fact, I got this first order here and move that to the balance. And how many contracts am I? I'm already at 12, so we'll take off 8. If it makes it back down there. Let's see, 9, that'd be 3. Just adjusting the quantity for the targets. Hoping and praying that we make it back down to the targets. Actually, let me swap this. So the only thing about this setup also is I didn't get to record the performance account trade. So I only got the screenshot. Did I paste the screenshot? Okay, good. Let me make sure I pasted it. So far, it's not looking good for this trade. Looks like they got me trapped. Maybe squeezing me out of this. Which would result in a big loss. So if let's just say hypothetically, I do the adverse of what I'm trying to do with this evaluation account happens. And I do have another way that I want to test this strategy out. So I may end up open the lower, the $50,000 one and testing that method out. I can honestly just wait for a sell for that one though, if I want to do that. We are breaking resistance with ES. Let's take a glance at the rest, the other markets. Range bound with RTY. Since this is an instance, I'm kind of missing some data here, but we also look bullishly range bound with YM. Not saying the kind of selling that I would like to see. Would be interesting if I end up hitting the. So I got it. This one has a $3,000 drawdown. So it'd be interesting to see if it continues trading higher, which is it's printing the way that it's printing. It looks like it may. Definitely looks possible to keep trading higher. If this whole move was just taking me completely out of that. And the way that I like, this is kind of the reason why I did it this way in an evaluation account, because I don't really have to worry about, starting all the way over from scratch. It's kind of a, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't, it's cool too, because I already have my strategy and everything, that I have a purpose for this. And as I was saying it, I forgot what I was going to say, but this is definitely, like, trades like this are definitely learning experiences. So this is kind of like taking a course on something, and that's how I look at it. It's kind of like the tuition. And these funded trading accounts are great for getting the most out of, your tuition fee. Getting these learning experiences without really putting much of your money up, your capital up, to get the learning experiences. Because I would rather put up a set amount and then get the full experience than, trying to use all the money that I have for trading and putting that up in my own personal account and then getting the learning experiences with the possibility of losing all of that money. So if I want to get like an educational experience, I can use a funded account. I know the max that I can lose of my own money, and then I just let I get the experience that I'm looking for, get the lessons that I'm looking for, really be able to test myself, test the strategy, whatever I'm looking to test, while capping my potential loss. But I really don't look at it as a loss. I was just, like I said before, I look at it as like a tuition fee. It's like paying a fee for a course. Until we get to the performance account, then it's a little bit different. RN, so like Top Step or Earn a Trade, it's more of a funded account where they actually give you the access to the funds to where immediately you're actually trading real money. Versus Leeloo, where you're still in a simulated environment. They just pay you based off your performance. So you're more so like an employee with Leeloo once you get into the performance account, where your pay is not hourly based, it is strictly performance based, which, from a business perspective, I like that model better in terms of how I'm going to pay out an employee. But with like Top Step are those that just give you, and even like the older prop firm models where they give you access to some funds that you can trade, some live funds that you can trade. In that situation, you're more so of a partner. All right, so we are getting some sellers coming back in here, giving us a push, but we do have support there. So which I don't necessarily, of course I have a bias towards Leeloo, but I don't necessarily like, so for some people, Top Step works great for them. I know some people that like Earn to Trade, and I think there's some other ones, and then there's some people who like your typical prop firm models, to where you have some capital that you give them, and then they multiply that capital. But it's really based off personal preference. I personally like Leeloo just because you don't have as many rules. Now, the thing I don't like about all of them is the drawdown. It's a good thing, especially for a new trader. But that's just one thing psychologically. Really, I don't get the kind of room that I like at this stage to trade the way that I would really like to trade. Just based off what I studied. So I know it's not necessarily the answer that people expect or are looking for when they ask that kind of question. It really is just personal preference. But of course, I have a bias towards Leeloo. And it's, the cost just depends on which account you go for, which I don't have those off the top of my head. I would have to go look. But I know Leeloo always has sales. I think Earn to Trade always has sales. I'm sure Top Step, they always have sales to where you can get started for the lower rate than normal. So it looks like we're gonna push higher. Just the way that printed. We set right on support. Unfortunately, my average price is sitting right below support. NinjaTrader is easy because I think all of them use Rhythmic, and so you just log into Rhythmic on NinjaTrader. So now with Leeloo, you have to log into RTrader Pro first, and you get a free license to do that. And then once you do that, that pretty much like activates your Rhythmic account, and then you can log into NinjaTrader or any other platform that works with Rhythmic. I think there should be a video on how to do that on this channel. If not, it is in the NinjaTrader Quick Start Guide. The link should be in the description. I have to check this after the stream because I did this one through Restream, so I don't know how it set that up. But all the other videos, the link is in the description for the quick start guides. No problem. All right, so we're just sitting and waiting for this either to stop me out or hit my drawdown or hit my targets. Definitely hoping for the latter, but we shall see it, how that worketh. Little battle we got going on between buyers and sellers, between VWAP and support. Definitely rooting for the sellers at this point. Buyers do not want to give up that support that they're holding. A lot of selling on the delta, which is, I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much, but hopefully that we get some follow through on that selling that I'm looking at on the delta, and they can take over this price, give us another push lower, actually finally give us a break and the market correction that we've been looking for. Yep, buyers pushing it back up, back into the VWAP, back to our balance level. Sellers pushing it right back. Buyers making another push to push it higher. This is what I was expecting, just by the way that it printed. Back into our PR50 if we make it there, which is highly likely that we do make it to PR50, looking at the power range high as my last attempt to save this position. Which at this point would look like a miracle. I would need a miracle for that to happen. Sellers are not giving up though. Pushing price right back below VWAP. And again, when I mean sellers, I don't necessarily mean that it's shorts coming in. It could be selling from buying, or selling from buyers that are taking profit. It could be stop losses getting hit from shorters that tried to short too low, or shorters who took it where, sellers that took it where I took it and just, didn't want to hold through all of this. So they have to buy to exit the position. And then there are buyers stepping right back in at support. So they're just fighting this thing out. And all I can do is sit back and watch. Well, I could do more than that, but that's not my plan. So I'm going to follow the plan and just let it sit back and watch and let it play out according to my plan. I'm also looking at the 1 minute chart on this my other monitor, and I do like the way that it's setting up on the 1 minute. So right here behind my head, I have my 1 minute chart that I'm looking at on the main screen that I trade from. All right, come on, sellers. Our negative delta has been hanging around in this 1400 to 1000 range. Now we got to push to 15, right back into 14. Still got buyers stepping in there at that support. the way that I got this set up, I could sit here and watch it, or I could just, let it play out. The only problem with that, well, no, because I don't have any extra orders out there that I need to cancel. So technically, I could just walk away and let it play out. So, I bring that up because, if you're struggling, that is a method to use if you're struggling with the emotional side of it. Again, the evaluation account is a great way to help with that. In my personal opinion, that's what that's what I use it. That's one of the reasons I use it. You still get to experience the emotion because you are putting real money up on the table, the fee that you pay to get into the account. But at the same time, it's not, your max loss, which is the fee that you paid to get into the account. So you don't have to be, it does in a way help you deal with the emotions and not, be all emotionally on the roller coaster, which most traders experience, especially in the beginning stages. If our buyers do not want to give up, negative delta back at 1100. Let's see if they push us below 1,000. Sellers like the VWAP. Also, this can be looked at as market maker accumulation. This is definitely looking market maker price action like. So hopefully market makers are looking to take this price action down, or this price down. We are set up for a breakout lower on the 1 minute. That gives me the push that I need. Just peek below my average price. And I'm gonna let this trigger my break even. Where's our delta? Our delta is now at 2,000, negative 2,000, and climbing. And on that price action, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill it. All right, so that worked out. I just took it off price action. I also I do see volume profile structure and some other, well, this little red line here. A lot of times I do see reaction at that, and all this is the, I think I explained this before, all this is the, I'm gonna probably murder this, the Kajun of the Ichimoku cloud. that I started using at the beginning of my journey as a trader. So seeing this price action here, now I do think that it's possible that it could trade lower, but just looking at the price action, I went ahead and just killed the trade and just took the profit. Didn't try to be greedy or anything like that. Just let it do what it's gonna do. So it's beautiful when it works out like that, but you know, definitely not the best, the ideal way that I would like to trade or position to work out. So good to end this on a positive note. I definitely thought I was going to get stopped out up here. I was just, watching it and letting it work out, but they gave me the price action that I needed, and we are getting the push lower that I was expecting. So anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Appreciate everybody for coming through, and let's hope and pray that this one saves to YouTube this time. And we'll see. All right, so, but I do got it recorded, so if it doesn't, all I gotta do is upload it. All right, so anyway, appreciate everybody coming through. Trade it easy.